Ain't nobody else can run this offense but Tua.
Yeah.
And like, don't fool yourself, because this offense is what separates him from other quarterbacks. And I got tired of people, I had to give a detailed explanation to people about, Tua's injury prone. Like, Tua's not injury prone. Here's the problem. I don't care who you are, right? This dude always gets pushed or shoved and falls on the back of his head.
Right.
That's not injury prone. That's just bad damn luck. Because if anybody were in that position, you're gonna hurt your head.
His first concussion that happened in the Bills game, which was never diagnosed as a concussion, it was literally him just getting shoved and falling backwards on a trip.
The next one
was
the
one that made him wobbly. The second one was vicious. He got ragdolled and thrown, but again, thrown on the back of his head.
On the back of his head. Like, you don't like, and I try to explain to people that they go, I said, a hit is not as bad as falling back on your head. And I can't explain it, but you can control sometimes how you fall when you fall forward. But when you get ragdolled or to the side, or like, yeah, man, it's tough. And it's unfortunate that we have this conversation with him, because, he came into the league hurt. And so now everything we look at is in that vein.
I get the idea of saying, I think that durability questions with him are fair because of the size, but I think that you don't go into a year thinking concussions is a part of that. I guess it's because he could be thrown around that easily because he's smaller, but it's not like this isn't like nicked up finger, ankle. Like if he was dealing with the ankle, if he missed games over the ankle this year, okay, I would hear you out because it's ankle, finger, it's all these things. But like this same spot where he just lands on the back of his head. And the other thing that's crazy about it is, we talked about this the last show that we were on, which was the day after Christmas. And this was kind of circulating around Twitter. And I was like, so nobody noticed this? And I was like, that kind of feels like we're making excuses for him. Like all of a sudden he just happened to take this hit and he was awful afterwards. And sure enough, as soon as we get off the air, Mike McDaniel says he's in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
And then reveals like, oh, he couldn't remember any plays during the game. I was like, what? So the guy, and like, that's the thing that's crazy about it. It's like, so let me get this straight. Dude on Twitter did a better job at spotting than the spotter. Just some guy who was like, hey,
dude on Twitter.
And he was like, hey guys, I was at the game and I was concerned that this hit that Tua took, that little dump off to Durham Smythe in the second quarter. No, I don't remember that.
Right.
And everybody's like, oh, how did you not? And then everybody's like coming at it. Oh, how did you not see it? Nobody saw it, dude. You want to know why? Because the next play they fumbled it and then he didn't touch the football for 40 minutes. Nobody like, what are we talking about?
Right.
And then we just,
it's a hard thing to kind of evaluate in itself, that you're talking about a sport where it's almost a badge of honor to play hurt, right?
Yep.
Also, you're going to have a hard time dealing with a player who you do not see get hurt say, I'm hurt. We all know how that, ask Jay Cutler what that looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he took some heat and then 2 days later had surgery and everybody said, oh, my bad. See you. Right?
Yeah, he had already done it this year. I mean, he played that Bills game, we all think, with a concussion. We all, before he went into Thursday Night Football, and he came in and, was able to be good. The thing that's just tough is like, you're right. Like this offense doesn't work without him because Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson are holding on the ball.
They're holding on the ball too long. Right. And guess what? And if that's not a definition of a franchise quarterback, what is? Right? If the fact that you can't just put anybody in that position and have them have success. I mean, we've seen Andy Reid's have success with a number of different quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it's Now
look at the 49ers.
Right. Look at the 49ers. Exactly. But what Mike McDaniel does with Tua is more unique than you think. And I always wonder, like, I mean, who got a penalty for basically just falling and when that who it was a couple of weeks ago with the Dolphins. It was on
falling.
Yeah, he just basically just fell on, he sacked him.
Oh, you're talking about Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. Right. Like, we can call a penalty on that. Meanwhile, Tua's doing road running backwards to try to stay on his feet, and that's nothing. Now, which play is more dangerous? If we're protecting the players, right? Once the ball's thrown, there's no need to push him.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough, though. Like, they even said, like, he didn't really – you can't test Tua's memory during a game. I mean, like, it looks like during the game, hey, that's just a bad throw. But a guy who's super accurate, who makes that throw all season, maybe his depth perception is a little off. Maybe he's a little – I don't know.
Maybe it becomes easier to determine these things in the future because you see the difference in the way he plays. Right?
Yeah,
like and so I think in the long run, but to say somebody is injury prone when they keep falling on their head the same way, right, is a little bit much. And I don't know, the unnecessary push of a quarterback, right? If you ain't tackling him or you ain't sacking him, the only thing you can do to push him is, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't I don't know what how to go about it from here, but I do know this offense does not operate without Tua. Good, bad, and different. You need Tua.
Well, it's a Dolphins Monday, brought to you by Gunther Mazda in Fort Lauderdale. During the season of inspiration sales, even on 441 just north of I-595, visit GuntherMazda.com for car buying done your way. You've got to get to Gunther Mazda. We'll take a break. We will get more into the Dolphins. Their loss to the New England Patriots. They have lost five in a row.
Yeah,
and they're now 8 on the season.
Here's how my hate weekend finished. Not only did I not get to bring the new year off on the right note because I was watching football till the middle of the night, but then I had to hate watch the Jets because I can't deal with Vlad.
Well, right? Of course.
So I'm watching that game. I don't even want to watch. I'm like, wow, this Geno Smith looking like a Hall of Famer today. Like I'm just, it's coming out of nowhere. I don't even want to say it. I just want to enjoy football. And I'm like, ooh, that Mike White, he's terrible.
You think I want to root for the?
Like I just start blurting out. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah, like, hey, listen, you think I want to root for the Bills next week? It hurts. I don't want to do that. But then again, I got to root against the Patriots. I think that's where I go anyway. Man, I really wanted to listen to WEEI today. Oh,
they're listening to us.
I know. They're listening. Hey, if you guys are listening at WEEI, believe this from the bottom of my soul when I tell you all to go to hell. Can I just say, Jason Sanders, like, dude, what the hell? What happened to you? What happened to you, dude? I've never seen a case of fat cat syndrome like this. Just a man. Anytime you need a kick from him that is of significance, you have no hope. No hope. As soon as they were like, oh, here he comes, 50-plus yarder, I knew he wasn't going to make that kick.
I hate when they have enough time to give all of the stats of the kicker, right? Because then you start either feeling doubtful or hopeful based on the information that the crew gives you, and they're not familiar with his work.
Just a perfect way. Instead of let's see if we can get Jason Sanders. We'll set him up with this onside kick. Nope. Easiest onside kick to recover known to man. He might as well just handed the ball to the Patriots. What a waste of time that was. Didn't he miss a kick last week anyway? Remember we all thought that squib kick was a squib kick? He just missed it.
Like Charlie Brown miss?
Dude, if I'm the special teams coach, I got to come up with a better lie than that. I have 4 days to explain. Hey, what happened with that squib kick? Oh, we thought strategy here, and nah, he just missed it. So let me get this straight. This guy, he can't hit 50-yarders. Okay, he can't onside kick it, and he can't regularly kick it off kick it. What is he doing all week? Like, what is his handicap? How good is he at golf? What is going on here with this guy? He missed a kickoff.
The ball's just sitting there. You have all day. You run at your own leisure to go and kick it.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, why do people think the Dolphins are cursed? I don't know. The kicker can't even kick off the ball. What a disaster.
Does he need the Charlie Brown when it's windy?
I guess so. I think he needs it no matter what. No matter what, dude. Unbelievable.
I never wanted to be that guy. You go home. Just put your finger down. Do you know what the kicker says? Don't move your kick. Don't move your hand. I won't kick your hand. And guess what? It never fails.
I would.
You lift it all the time.
Imagine having to trust Jason Sanders on accuracy.
Say, can we just put that little thing you kick with on the sidelines up?
Do me a favor and never have this guy kick for the Dolphins again. Okay.
Too late. You're boxed in. You're pot committed.
Have Morstead do it next week. So just have him dial it up. Didn't he do it in a Super Bowl one time? Enough of this Jason Sanders. I'm sick of him.
He went from hero to chump in like a short period of time.
Guy had like the most meaningless hot streak of the year. Oh, Jason Sanders has made 10 in a row. Yeah, when they were always either winning or losing, nothing on the line. When you actually need importance from him, where's he at? Oh, I know. Counting his cash. Fat cat. Dude loves Mondays and lasagna. A complete Garfield. Jason mother bleeping Sanders.
He said Monday. Why does he love Mondays?
Actually, he hates Mondays. My bad.
Yeah.
That's right. Garfield hated Mondays. -1. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm just saying. Why would he?
-1.
Mondays is when everybody come in and ask him about all the kicks he missed. Why would he enjoy Mondays?
I don't know. I'm just riffing here, man. I'm just upset with him.
We're all frustrated. Like it was, I mean, let's be fair. The Heat gave us a little bit of feel good, but that was like 10 minutes.
Oh, it was so
right.
good.
That was 10 minutes. Like all the torture and turmoil going on.
I knew you weren't watching the Heat game though, because you didn't text me about that Vic dunk.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna send it to you during 15 minutes of Heat. I want to surprise you. It was good.
I kept an eye on the score and I saw that Tyler Hero hit a game winner, but I was busy.
Yeah, it was something. Let's hear from Mike McDaniel. He's like you. He's more angry. That normally Mike McDaniel is sad.
Right.
Mike McDaniel admits he's angry.
Right.
In this particular situation, I felt less sad and more angry, just at how certain things transpired, because I want desperately for everyone involved to get what I feel like they deserve. And when that's short, I struggle not to start with myself. I think that will always be the case. But I think we'll see on the tape that there's a lot of people that could have done X, Y, or Z that much better to win a 2-point loss.
Even in his explanation of misery, you still go, what?
More angry than sad. Like, is that his way of calling out players? Is like that the most? Let me tell you something.
I don't think he'll ever call out players. I think the closest we'll get is, if we had some people do things.
I think he really does
better.
I think he really does want to rip people, but because he's such a players coach, like he can't do it. Like he can't.
Being a players coach and calling somebody out don't go hand in hand. You can still call players out, but what happens is if you're a players coach, most of the players know it. they deserve it. You're not just going, arbitrarily go out and try to cover your own ass. And that's some coaches do that. Like we've had coaches down here that have said, "Hey, I'm telling them what to do. This worked for 30 years. I can't like that."
That was a Gase Golden special.
Right. And so he's not going to do that. But to hold somebody accountable that needs to be held accountable, that still doesn't mean you're not a player's coach. I would say the way he did it would mean to me that he's already had this conversation with certain people.
I mean, he certainly took a long time to talk to the media yesterday, so maybe he was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guy says on the text line, now you want to blame Sanders? Come on. But listen, I don't understand when did this become a thing where we can't blame the kicker? Simple math is you lose by 2 and there was a field goal left on the board that you shanked. In my world, field goals are worth 3 points, okay? Which means you would have won the game by 1. Yeah, why can't I blame the kicker?
Well, let's say this. And here's where your theory is not wrong, but here's how your theory is wrong. Because defenses play differently with a 2-score lead versus a 1-score lead. And so the defense that you saw to New England would have been different.
Maybe.
No, I get what you're saying.
You missed a kick.
But right. I understand what you're saying, but I also know that they'll let you score by giving up time.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing though. You can go in and you can be like, oh, didn't do these things on offense right. You didn't execute it. Yeah, that's fine. But you want to know something? You're on the road. You're down to your 3rd string quarterback again, because apparently the Dolphins can never just have a game where one quarterback plays the game. Whenever 2 is out, it's like, let's play both Teddy and Skylar Thompson. Let's just see how it goes. And you're just looking to piece together a win. And this guy has been a fat cat bum all season. And here is a chance at redemption. Keep it going, Jason Sanders. Nope. Can't count on him. That's what I'm annoyed at.
It is, I remember watching Ohio State.
By the way, last time I checked, the last time I checked, the kicker wears a Dolphins uniform. He doesn't come out there like in a goalie outfit, something different from the other players. He's a football player. Do your job on the football field. You have one thing to do, and you haven't done it all year, you bum.
Hey, did you watch the end of the Ohio State game?
No, I was too busy celebrating Tyler Hero.
Hey, when the kicker came onto the field, I'm like, ooh, he is way too confident.
Oh, really?
Right? Oh. He was out there like McKicking. Like, he was out there. I'm like, I told the guy I was watching the game with, this ain't gonna go well. He goes, how do you know? I said, he got way too much confidence.
Super V says on YouTube, I'm done with this guy McCoachin already. He should rip himself for some of the dumbest decisions he has made, whether it was play calling or not using his personnel correctly.
It's kind of hard to do that when a majority of the time he makes good decisions. And what ends up happening is he has numbers. Okay. So everybody loved him when it was 4th and 7 and Tua threw a touchdown to Jalen Waddle earlier in the year.
Yep.
Right.
I liked his 4th down call yesterday.
Now we question it because it didn't work. There's a difference between decisions and execution, right? Like, or like, just because your coach has the stones to go for it, don't mean that the other team don't have the defense to stop it, right? But you just you kind of have to live with that.
And
so
the Pats have a good defense,
right? I'm not willing to just go there and say some of his decisions are, are terrible. I will say this: when you get into your 2nd and 3rd string quarterback, just the call plays and what you need done requires more of an explanation to those guys when you know that Tua already understands these things. And that's where you get it looks a little choppy at times because you can't just call a play. You got to call a play with some explanations, right? And that's where it becomes difficult. They look like, hey, and damn it, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Uh-oh.
Tyreek Hill, keep your ass still. You're always moving.
Always
He's
moving.
always moving. Everybody, he never stops. He'll go in motion. He'll go in motion. He'll go in motion. And then he'll like chop his feet. Then he'll stop and the other guy go in motion. You gotta know. Get your ass in the spot and stop.
Yeah, that
Stop
really
being
annoyed
so
me.
fidgety.
That really annoyed me. But can you tell the cheetah not to be fidgety? He's the cheetah.
Right, I mean, yeah,
That's
but
how he is.
He's not. Is it
No,
not? Like, he never stops moving.
If I have to hear illegal procedure or illegal formation one more time this year, I think I'm going to break my television because it happens.
Always the same guy though.
And it always
He never gets still.
I mean, it always negates like a 20-yard gain. It's so irritating. Always.
Well, yeah, because they're doing Canadian football rules. Like, we're playing in the NFL. We don't play Canadian football where everybody can get a run and start.
The coach is like, listen, we use this in the UFL. Nobody ever called
it. So, like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating that there were opportunities, right? But you started seeing, like, I started appreciating what Tua does even more because I saw, Skylar and I saw Teddy look in those same areas, but like, I ain't throwing that ball.
I know. I was like, is Skylar ever going to cut one loose? Is he ever going to throw down the field?
Look, he was like no.
Because preseason, he was willy-nilly throwing to Ezukami. He's like, he's down there somewhere. And now every time it was like Skylar Thompson was looking downfield, he goes, nah, just throw it like 4 yards to Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't know, like, it sucks, you feel like crap because of how the season's played out. But what I would say is this, is that these are some of the growing pains that you go through with a first-year coach.
Dude, but 5 straight losses is not growing pains. That's excruciating pain.
No, it is.
Like, that's to go from you had a chance at the division to you're 500 and you don't control it. Do you know how hard it is to lose 5 in a row and still be alive for the playoffs?
Yeah.
Like, that's
the Buffalo Bills used to do that every year.
That's almost an indictment in itself. Like, the fact that the Dolphins are still alive for the playoffs because they were off to such a good start is it almost like it makes the pain linger that much more.
Mm-hmm.
Here they are going into the final week. You still have a chance. It's like, I don't even know if I still want to have a chance after all of this.
Really?
I do, obviously. I do, obviously.
You going crazy?
Like,
you just went straight Looney Tunes.
But come on. Like, this is ridiculous. 5 straight losses, you can still make the playoffs.
But guess what? If you get there, you know what you're going to say? Anything could happen.
We'll see.
No, not
right
there
now,
you go.
down right now.
So you say if they make the playoffs, you'll be disappointed?
No, obviously, making the playoffs, I feel like, is almost key to somebody not getting fired. Like, I feel like, because who knows with this owner? Like, Steven Ross is a wild card. We didn't think Flores was going to get fired. I didn't think he was going to get fired. So, like, if they don't make the playoffs and they have 6 straight losses and all-time franchise collapse, that feels like the owner is going to, because he's old. He's a wild card. He got suspended for tampering this year. He goes, "Oh, you thought I tampered last year? Watch this."
Hey, wait. The Giants don't have a first year coach. It's second year, right?
Not first year.
Oh, they fired the last guy after 1 year.
They fire a lot of guys. It's hard to keep up with the Giants.
Yeah.
But no, Dayball was in his first year.